Here, and as always, before I get started off with the video, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support that you guys have been offering on the channel. As of me recording this video, it's literally a little bit past 12 o'clock at night, so I wanted to get some videos pushed out before I went out, you know, to go on orders for my military training. But regardless of that, I wanted to get 2 more videos pushed out. I might go on ahead and do this weapons list that apparently was leaked from Modern Warfare, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And I'm going to do I might do a 2K video tonight. I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear. So, let's get into this list. So, a couple of YouTubers have uploaded the video of these supposed weapon leaks that were, I guess, leaked in regards to, you know, Modern Warfare. Now, I'm not gonna, you know, jump out there and say this is 100% confirmed, because I don't know. I don't have the information, but these are rumored weapons to be in the game, and we're gonna talk about them. So, you guys know what gameplay this is. I shared this gameplay, I think it was the 1st of July, the first day of free agency, and this is one of my better gameplays. This was my first game back on Black Ops 4, so let's get into it. So we're gonna dive into the SMGs first, and the first one, or we're gonna go down the list. You got the MP7, the MP5, the Bison, which if my memory serves me correct, that this was in Call of Duty Ghosts. It was like the weird looking SMG with the long you know, cylindrical clip or whatever, the long cylindrical magazine. Then you got the AK-74U, the Mini Uzi, the AUG. Now here's where this, you know, there's a caveat to that though. And then you have the P90. So the MP7, one of the best SMGs in Call of Duty history, if not the best SMG, along with the MSNC, which needs to make a return in, you know, Black Ops 4, but I highly doubt it, because we only got 2 more I guess updates left, or 2 more operations, not unless they tease it, and not this coming up operation, but the next one, but who knows. But regardless of that, MP7, one of the most well-rounded weapons in Call of Duty history, virtually no recoil.
Strike available for tasking.
Damn, I'm trying to swing at this fly, trying to get it. Virtually no recoil in all the iterations of the games. You had it in Modern Warfare 3, you had it in Black Ops 2, and neither one of them had a whole bunch of recoil, so that's going to be really good to see in there. Then you got the MP5, one of the most iconic SMGs in, you know, Call of Duty history. It's in Rainbow Six Siege. If you don't play Rainbow Six Siege, it's one of the weapons that the Special Air Service uses. It's been in service with them for a good amount of time. Even SWAT uses the MP5s, so, you know, the MP5 is a really good weapon. Now, the Bison, like I said, it was from Call of Duty Ghosts. You can go search up gameplay of it or whatever. But, I mean, if that is the SMG to be in this game, then it's got a fast-ass fire rate. That's all I can really tell you guys. But who knows? It could be a different Bison. We don't know. The AK-74U, one of the most iconic SMGs in Call of Duty history, along with the MP7 and the MP5. For good reason. I mean, pretty good fire rate, pretty decent damage output. It was in Black Ops 1, it was in Black Ops 2. If you played the campaign, you'll play with it a little bit. I want to say it was in COD 4. Yes, it was in COD 4. So, regardless of that, AK-74U is on the list. The Mini Uzi, hopefully it's not like the Black Ops 1 Mini Uzi that was really, really trash. Hopefully it's more like the Modern Warfare 2 Mini Uzi. I don't know. But you got that one. Then the AUG. So, apparently there's a special side note beside this one. It was previously an AR, obviously. But now, allegedly, it's going to be an SMG. It can turn into an AR with one attachment. I guess the one attachment would be like a maybe a long barrel, or maybe like a barrel receiver, like a barrel switch. You could do a barrel switch on it, maybe. I don't know, or a receiver switch, whatever. but apparently they're going to make it into a SMG this year. And then you got the P90. So the P90, obviously, you know, like I said, that's one of the, you know, more iconic firearms. That freaking, you know, magazine capacity is what makes the P90 really good, especially for, you know, taking out multiple enemies or whatever. Trying to scroll through the list here, but yeah, it's gonna be really interesting seeing all these weapons come back, because it's been a while since we've seen a majority of them. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Moving on to the assault rifles. Now this is where things get a little bit spicy. So we have the AK-47, which can become an SMG courtesy of one attachment. The FAMAS, you can alternate between 3-round burst and fully automatic mode. Ooh. Then you got the Lynx. This is from Modern Warfare Remastered. It is apparently now called the HK433, which I'll dive into that in just a little bit. Then you got the M4A1, you got the Scar H, you got the Siege MCX, the FAL, and then you have the Ash 12. Now, the AK-47, the most iconic weapon in history, actually, not just Call of Duty history. This weapon is the weapon of bad guys all over the world. It's one of the most iconic firearms in military history, and for good reason. The thing is damn near indestructible, it's durable, it's cheap, you can get them from anywhere, but regardless of that, it's going to be in the game. It can become an SMG courtesy of one attachment. I guess it's going to have a cut-off barrel, and maybe a receiver switch, like I said, but we'll have to wait and see. Then we're going to move on to the FAMAS, which apparently you can alternate between 3-round bursts and fully automatic mode with this thing. It is going to be deadly, okay? Depending on what iteration they use the FAMAS from, if they're going to use it for Modern Warfare 2, it was pretty decent in Modern Warfare 2, I'm not even going to lie. But in Black Ops 1 is where this thing really slapped. It was fully automatic in Black Ops 1, and then it was 3-round burst in Modern Warfare 2. But regardless of that, it's going to be really good. The Lynx, this is from Modern Warfare Remastered. It is now apparently called the HK433. So if you don't know what HK stands for, it's basically I want to say it means Heckler and Koch. Like, if you know who Heckler and Koch is, they developed the MP7, they developed the HK417, or otherwise known as the M27 from Black Ops 2. I know a little bit about H&K, so I think, you know, that's what, you know, the HK433 is. I guess it's going to be similar to the M27, but we'll just have to wait and see. If I had more time to put this video together, I would have done more research on some of these weapons, but there's that. The M4A1, the military weapon of choice for the United States military, and some of the most elite, excuse me, the most elite Special Forces operations units around the world use the M4. Virtually, it's, you know, it's got no recoil almost. You can slap many attachments on it. Being that I'm in the military, you know, I use the M4, you know, constantly. So you could throw a foregrip on there, a red dot, a holographic, a ACOG. You could put an M203 grenade launcher on there. You can extend the barrel on it. You know, you can put a stock on there. Regardless of the fact, it's one of the most versatile weapons in Call of Duty history, and for good reason. Then we're going to move on to the Scar H. The Scar H has a little brother, the Scar L, which I think the Scar L fires a 5.56 by 45mm round, which is the same round that the M4 uses. And then you have the Scar H, battle rifle, battle-tested, battle-proven. The Scar H hits hard, and it's more of the slower fire rate weapons, but regardless of what iteration you use, the Modern Warfare 2 iteration, I don't think they had the Modern Warfare 3 Scar H. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, they had Scar H, but a lot of people, you know, steered towards the Scar L simply because it was a lot less recoil behind it. But regardless of that, we got the Scar H coming back. I hope you guys enjoyed this first gameplay right here. I think it was 45 kills, so hope you enjoyed that. Then we're gonna move on to the Siege MCX. Now I don't know what gun this is. I don't even know if this weapon exists in the world. It probably does, but there's probably a trademark behind it. A lot of these weapons, such as the Lynx, apparently it's now going to be called the HK433, which I'm going to see if I can pull up some research on some of this stuff. Just to, you know, I guess, solidify my research more, if that makes sense. Hopefully I can pull it up. My phone's kind of acting slow. I got two phones, you guys, so bear with me. Okay. But yeah, so a lot of these weapons are changed around for trademark reasons and for, you know, I guess, copyright reasoning or whatever else. So the HK433. Okay, so yeah, the H&K433 is a modular and compact assault rifle chambered for 5.56, which is the same round that the M4 shoots. It's sort of, so the best way I can describe it to you, hopefully they show a picture of it. The best way I can describe it is it's got features of the G36C, which if you don't know what the G36C is, go back and play Call of Duty 4. You can play Rainbow Six with it. But regardless of that, it's got features of the G36. It was designed literally 2 years ago. So a couple of years ago, they're trying to implement a lot of modern weaponry, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna look at a picture of it. So yeah, very similar to the M27 from Black Ops 2, but regardless of that, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna see if I can search up the Siege MCX just to see if anything pops up. I highly doubt it. Probably nothing is gonna pop up. Not unless they're talking about the SIG MP or the SIG either MCX or PCX. It's similar to an MP5. It's got, you know, the curved magazine or whatever else. But yeah, it looks almost like the Honey Badger, but it's not quite. I don't know if that's going to be what it looks like. Don't take my word for it, but regardless of that, the FAL, if y'all don't know what the FN FAL is, man, what are y'all doing, man? Y'all missing out on the FN FAL. The FN FAL was introduced in Black Ops 1 as a semi-automatic battle rifle. It was probably like a 2 to 3 shot kill. Could touch people out to a long distance or whatever. Fire rate was pretty decent if you had a pretty decent trigger finger. And then in Black Ops 2, it was called the FAL OSW for Operator's Specialist Weapon, I think. I could be wrong about that. But you could equip fully automatic fire on this one, and it was ridiculous. So regardless of that. And then you got the Ash 12, which, like I said, man, I'm trying to search up these weapons right here. But they could be completely different from what I'm describing them as. So, don't, like I said, man, don't take my weapon for it, or don't take my weapon for it. Don't take my word for it. I'm just trying to, throw it out there. Just trying to, you know, dig a little deeper into some of the weapons that might be released. Like I said, this isn't confirmed, but regardless. Then you got the Ash 12.7, which, or I guess this is what it is. It's like a, it is almost like the FAMAS. It has the bullpup magazine design, but it looks really freaking weird, bro. When I say this weapon looks hella weird. I mean, it looks pretty weird, you guys. Y'all can look up a lot of these weapons from this list that I'm calling out. But regardless of that, it's pretty weird. Pretty weird stuff. Moving on to the rocket launchers. So, we got 4 of those. We got the Javelin, the RPG-7, the Cal Gustav, and then we got the Stinger. I know 3 out of the 4 weapons that are listed here. The Javelin is a auto, like it's a lock-on, you know, rocket launcher. You can take out score streaks with it. You can even free fire the thing if it acquires a target. And it was in Modern Warfare 2. I think it was in Modern Warfare 3. It's a real weapon used by the United States military. So that's pretty cool. The RPG-7 used by bad guys all around the world. Y'all know about the RPG-7. If you don't, where you been at? Where you been at for the last couple of years? Moving on to the Cal Gustav. I don't know what this is. I'm about to see if they actually have the pictures of it. Could be a you know, fake weapon. No, actually, so apparently, this is I guess they called it the Cal Gustav, for copyright reasons, but the Carl Gustav is a recoilless rifle that uses an 84mm projectile shell, and it's an anti-tank weapon. So, you could take out, tanks with it and stuff like that, and it looks pretty cool. And then you got the Stinger. Obviously, the Stinger was in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, I believe. So, you know, a lot of these weapons are being reintroduced into the games or whatever. So there's that, man. It's going to be really interesting seeing how these weapons operate on a new engine. Then we got the pistols. So, we got the Desert Eagle, the X16, the 1911, the SIG P320, and the 44 Magnum. So, I think I know all of these weapons. I'm a little bit of a weapons guru. I, study my weapons, obviously being in the military. You know, you gotta know your weaponry. And, yeah. So we're gonna go on ahead and tackle these pistols really quick. So this X16 pistol, it looks pretty cool, man. It looks sort of like a Makarov, but it's not quite like a Makarov. Or it looks like an ASP, basically. If you remember the ASP from Black Ops 1, it's similar to that. But anyways, the Desert Eagle, I don't have to explain to you guys what a Desert Eagle is. Go back and play Call of Duty 4. Go back and play Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. They have it in Rainbow Six Siege. It kicks. You know, when I say this thing kicks, it will probably freaking take your arm off. It's that bad. But the Desert Eagle, one of the most iconic firearms in weapons history. Then you got the X16, which I was just talking about. It's similar. It looks similar to an ASP pistol. It looks similar to a Makarov somewhat, but there's that. Moving on, we got the 1911, the forever iconic 1911. You guys, I don't have to explain myself about the 1911, one of the most iconic firearms in history. It was replaced by the M9 by the military in the 1980s. So, there's that. Then we got the SIG P320, which I think this is the pistol that our United States military uses now. I could be wrong about that. But Sig Sauer always produces good weapons. I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay right here. 29-4. This guy right here, Booganator, he got like a quad feed with the freaking the War Machine. He went 34-8. So regardless of that, we're gonna move on to the 44 Magnum. This was the weapon of choice for General Shepard. You know, it's a 44 Magnum. I mean, what more can I say about a 44 Magnum? I mean, the thing is, it's lethal. It's lethal. This thing will will take you out, no hesitation, guaranteed. I promise you that. I guess I'm gonna play some Hacienda the Twilight gameplay since you guys don't really see a lot of it on the channel. And then we got, you know, like I said, man, the 44 Magnum, one of the most iconic firearms in history. General Shepard was about to kill us with it, but then Captain Price came over and he hit, you know, General Shepard, and that's when the whole scene went on about that. And then I guess the last, no, we got shotguns, we got melee. Okay, so the last two melee weapons that I'm gonna cover, the riot shield, and then you got two combat knives. I don't know what two combat knives is. Might be ballistic knives, but I don't know. But the riot shield, you guys know about the riot shield. It's nowhere different, or it's nowhere the same as Ajax's you know, shield that he has. He, you know, Ajax is a human hack in the game, but regardless of that, it says that you cannot shoot a pistol while you have your shield out. Thank God, because Ajax was one of the worst specialists in the game up until now. Now it's probably zero. If you guys want to see me do an updated specialist list when I get back from my training on Sunday, let me know, and I'll work on putting a list together for that. But yeah, we're gonna move on to, I think the shotguns is gonna be next. No, so we got snipers, okay? So we got the Dragunov, we got the AS-50, the TAC-50, and then one more sniper that apparently hasn't been mentioned. So we don't know what this last sniper could be. It could be the dang on, you know, trying to figure out some weapons from Modern Warfare history that are snipers. Wow, there's been a lot of them. There's been a lot of them, but there's absolutely no telling what this last sniper could be. But regardless of that, the Dragunov, one of probably the worst sniper rifles in Call of Duty history. And I couldn't see that guy until he started moving. I got, you know, my eyes are starting to. No, I'm just playing. I got pretty decent eyes. But regardless of that, the, you know, Dragunov, one of the most iconic snipers in history. It's used by bad guys all across the world. My secret drone was on crack there. I don't know why it spun around. It could have just got the Seraph that I killed first, but regardless of that, used by bad guys all over the world. It's most known for its wooden furniture on the weapon, and yeah. Then we got the AS-50. Now, if my memory serves me correct, this was a sniper in Modern Warfare 3. I could be wrong about that. The AS-50 sniper rifle. So yeah, so this sniper, I guess, yeah, this was in Modern Warfare 3. So if you guys remember Modern Warfare 3, there was a sniper on that game called the AS-50, or I guess it was similar to this one. It's sort of like a intervention. It's sort of like an intervention, but it's not quite like that. The barrel isn't as long, and the damage probably won't be there either. But regardless of that, the AS-50 is a pretty decent looking sniper. Then you got the TAC-50, which probably is no, it isn't the intervention. Okay, so from what I'm looking at, I mean, this isn't confirmed, like I said. The Macmillan TAC-50 is the real name for it, like the real designation. A lot of you know, a lot of police forces use it. I think the Marines used to use it. I could be wrong about that, but it's a pretty decent sniper rifle. And then we have that one more sniper that, you know, we don't know the name of yet. We're going to move on to the marksman rifles, though. We have the Kar-98, which we're going to get into that in just a little bit. We got the Winchester. This is similar to the Winchester for PUBG. This is most likely not the official name, however, because of licensing issues or whatever. Because unless, you know, Call of Duty developers can get the permission to use the real-life weapons in the game from the weapon companies that develop said weapons, then they can't use the real names. Sig Sauer, you got FN Herstal, you got, you know, freaking, Colt, you have H&K. All these weapon manufacturers, they have to get approval, I guess, from their board members, and then, you know, Call of Duty has to get approval from those, you know, weapon developers to use their weapons in the game. For licensing reasons, of course. And then you got the M14 EBR, which, I forgot what the EBR stood for. I think it was like, I don't know what the M14, I don't know what the EBR stands for, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. But if you guys don't know about the Kar 98, this is a sniper from World War II era games, I guess, World War I, World War II. It, you know, is a pretty decent sniper. I think it was bolt action. I could be wrong about that as well. But regardless of that, it might have an updated look to it. They might change it around. You know, they might do something different to it. But regardless of that, there's that. Then we got the Winchester. Winchester is known for their battle rifles, I guess, or their marksman rifles. Back in the days, the Winchester, they used to have a repeating rifle. Now, the Winchester repeater rifle back in the days, like back when, you know, cowboys were walking around with the boots and, you know, they were doing standoffs or whatever. That's what most people were using if you had the money back then to get it. But regardless of that, the Winchester is going to be in the game. And then you got the M14 EBR. Now, the M14 EBR is a sniper rifle that was used in Modern Warfare 2. If you guys don't remember the mission Contingency, you and Captain Price, y'all, you know, are in the woods. It's the snow mission, and you know, you're about to go scuttle a submarine or whatever. Like, y'all are about to go, you know, do some submarine stuff. It's pretty much a stealth mission until the halfway point in the game where I guess you get compromised or whatever. But regardless of that, the M14 Enhanced Battle Rifle, which is what EBR stands for, I had to think about it. It's similar to the Mark 14, which, you know, it has modified iron sights, but you can put a sniper scope on there. But regardless of that, there's that. And then it says you cannot attach scopes to the marksman rifles. This is either intentional or because Infinity Ward is not ready for this stage of development. I don't know what that last part means, but I'm pretty sure that's not good considering the fact that we have almost 4 months left before the game is released. But regardless of that, yeah, so I'm guessing you can't use scopes on them or whatever. I don't know how that's going to work, but just have to wait and see. And then I think we got the shotguns last. I could be, let me see. Yeah, I think we got the shotguns last. We have the hunting rifle, and then we have the Model 6, and then we have the Origin 12. Now, there's only 3 shotguns that they have listed here. Now, I think Black Ops 4 only has 2 shotguns, 3 shotguns base, but regardless of that, the Charlie 720 as it's called, or the Charlie, whatever, excuse me, whatever you want to call it, I don't, this is gonna be,
task UAV on my beacon.
Wild.
Expired.
I mean, I don't know. It's not pulling up any pictures, but it could be a semi-automatic, you know, shotgun or whatever. I seriously don't know. I don't really know. And then you have the Model 6, or it might be the Remington 870. If you guys don't know what the Remington 870 is, it's basically the 870 MCS from Black Ops 2, the Remington 870 MCS, the pump-action shotgun that was, like, super deadly. It's basically that. It might be I don't know. That's what the notes say here. And then you got the Origin 12. I don't know what that is or whatever. But regardless of that,
Q stores open.
then you have the KSG 12. Might be coming back. So that'll be pretty cool to see. I miss the KSG. And then I think we have LMGs left. Okay. So the Origin 12 is apparently the short barrel shotgun that fires 30 rounds in 8 seconds. 30 rounds in 8 seconds. Does that sound familiar? It sounds like the Brecci, right? The semi-automatic sniper from Black Ops 3. Y'all remember that? The most overpowered weapon in the game at one point. No, I'm just playing. It wasn't. I mean, it was overpowered, but it wasn't the most overpowered weapon in the game. But apparently, this shotgun can fire 30 rounds in 8 seconds, which is that's pretty wild. But I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay on Hacienda Twilight right here. 31-18 for the final gameplay or whatever. And then we're gonna dive into these LMGs, and then I think that might be it. And then we're gonna talk about some planned weapons or rumored DLC weapons that we have about about Modern Warfare to potentially release. So we got the MG5, the MG34, the L86, LSW, and the PKM. So these are all the rumored LMGs to be in the game. Now, I know 3 out of 4 of these weapons. The first one that we're gonna talk about is the MG5. Now, like I said, I'm searching up a lot of these weapons. I, freaking just wanna see what they look like. Just wanna give you guys my take on them. You can all search them up yourselves or whatever. But the MG5 is developed by Heckler & Koch, apparently. It is a belt-fed weapon. So it could be one of those 80 to 100 round, belt-fed magazine weapons or whatever. It looks similar to the 249 that's developed by, I think it's, Colt. I think Colt develops the 249. I could be wrong, and knowing I use the 249, I should know who develops it. But regardless of that, yeah, so the MG5, it looks similar to the M249 Saw, or the MK48 in Black Ops, 2 or whatever, but it looks similar to that. So then we're going to move on to the MG34. Now, I think the MG34 was in Modern Warfare 3, or no, apparently, I guess, no. Well, yeah, it is a modern firearm weapon. So, I guess this was a weapon that was back in World War II or whatever. I don't know, it's pretty crazy, but it was a weapon that was used back in World War II, I think it was. I think Hitler called it, or I think people called it Hitler's buzzsaw because of how it sounded. It's either that or the MG42, I could be wrong. But I think it's the MG42 is what they call Hitler's buzzsaw. But regardless, the MG34 is a German-made weapon. So there's that. Moving on, we got the L86, LSW. Go back and play Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. It's in both of those games. It's similar. I want to say it's similar to the Enfield, but it's not quite like the Enfield. If you guys know what the Enfield is, then you guys will probably relate to it. And then we have the PKM, which this is a weapon that a lot of the bad guys use around the world. It's similar, if you guys know what the RPK is, which they have it in Black Ops 3 as a DLC weapon. It was in Black Ops 1 as a base weapon. But regardless of that, it's similar to that, but I guess the configuration of it is different. The barrel's longer, it's heavier. It's sustained, it's built to sustain automatic fire. So there's that, alright. And then I guess we're going to move on and we're going to talk about some of these DLC weapons that could potentially release in the game. So we got 5 to talk about, and we're going to go ahead and dive into them. So we got the ACR, the M16, the M91 Custom, the M13 Custom, and then the last one is going to kind of confuse you guys. It says Fist. Yeah, fist, like your fist, like your hands, okay? So we're going to dive into this a little bit. I'm running at 35 minutes here. Probably not going to, I might do the 2K video. I got a couple more hours of rest, so I'm pretty decent. We got the ACR. If you guys know, you guys should know about the ACR, man. The ACR, like I said, is one of the most iconic firearms in history, and it's one of the most iconic firearms in Call of Duty history. You have the ACR from Modern Warfare 2, which is the bigger brother to the ACR 6.8, which fires a, I guess like a 6.8 by something round. I forgot what it was. But regardless of that, the ACR, one of the most iconic firearms in history, in Call of Duty history, if not the most iconic. So there's that. Then you have the M16. What more do I have to say about the M16? It was used during the Vietnam War. It's in, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare? Yeah, there you go. Call of Duty, yeah. It's in the first Modern Warfare game. It's in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. It's a 3-round burst weapon. It's in Modern Warfare Remastered. What more do I have to say about the M16? One burst killer. So there's that. Moving on to this M91 Custom. I don't know what this is. Alright. Apparently it is a Russian Mosin Nagant weapon. So I guess it's a sniper. I don't know. Apparently it's the German or the Russian equivalent to the Mosin Nagant, so that's pretty cool. Then we got the M13 Custom, which I'm guessing the M13 is a LMG or whatever, or it might be a modified version of the AK. So it's like a, I guess it's a shorter barreled version of the AK. If that makes sense, sort of like a Draco. You guys know, you guys listen to music. The Draco doesn't have a stock to it, and it has a shorter barrel. But I'm guessing the M13 is gonna be something like that. And then the last thing we're gonna talk about is the other last DLC weapon, your fist. So I guess we're going to be running around with fists, and it's going to be like a one-hit kill. It might be like a like a freaking superpower or something. Like you're able to run at supersonic speeds or some shit. Who knows? Who knows what Infinity Ward has planned up their sleeves. But regardless of that, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, man. All the gameplays that I showed. If you did, don't forget to click that like button. And also, what do you guys think about some of these weapons that are coming back? We got the MP7, the SCAR, the AKs. All of those weapons are coming back. I'm really excited to see what happens, or what's going to happen with the game. But regardless of that, yeah, man, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it if you like the content. Subscribe as well, like the video. And also check out Cousin Malik's channel. His link is in the description box below. He's on a trip to New York right now. He should be back, I think he said Tuesday. So he'll be back 2 days before or after I get back. So, yeah. Be expecting some more Rainbow Six gameplay on the channel, you guys. We have 18 supply crates left. And I'm going to dive into this next operation for a little bit. So, if you guys are completing these contracts, I'm going to tell you right now, do not do this duplicate protected crate. Because basically, I could get 3 of them right now, but it guarantees you 3 items. 3 guaranteed non-duplicate items. I could end up getting a DLC weapon out of that. I don't know the chances, but I'm not going to take them. But regardless, don't spend your freaking crates on this, or your reserve cases on this duplicate protected crate right here, it just wouldn't make sense for you to do it, considering the fact that our next operation is literally in a day and 12 hours away. So grind out these reserves if you can. If you haven't finished up the contraband stream, go on ahead and do it, man. I'm trying to tell you, because I guess people didn't know that if you don't finish the contraband stream, because apparently people were getting you know, weapons from prior operations out of this weapon bribe right here, which freaking sucks. When I say, like, people were getting, you know, what is it? People were getting the rampage out of that. People were getting the whatchamacallit, the the SWAT. They were getting the SWAT out of it. They were getting the freaking you know, all the other DLC weapons that were previously released in it. They were getting that out of this supply drop. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't want to get the Vendetta out of that supply crate, I would probably suggest you going ahead and finish up this contraband stream if you can. If not, then hey, that's cool or whatever. But if you can't finish it up, just at least get to tier 25, so that way you can get yourself a guaranteed weapon or non-duplicate, whatever it is. It guarantees you the ranged weapon, or a non-duplicate Mark II weapon, if that makes sense. So yeah, try and grind out tier 25. If you can get to tier 50, go on ahead and do it. But regardless of that though, man, it kind of sucks that if you just started this operation now, you're not going to be able to get a lot of this content. So that pretty much sucks or whatever. But hopefully, and dang, I won't be able to do this ultra weapon bribe either. Actually, yes, I will. If I can go ahead and finish it out tonight before I leave off or whatever, which I'm on tier 59, so I'll get it in the next couple of tiers. So I might do an ultra weapon bribe and then do my freaking cases or whatever when I get back. Because by the time I get back, then guess what? The next operation is going to be happening. And I'm not really too much worried about it because I'll only be going for like maybe 5 or 6 days. But regardless of that, that's pretty much it. Save your cases, guys, because this next operation is going to give us some new weaponry. And you might just look out and improve your chances. But regardless of that, though, you know, I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have offered on the channel. It means a lot to me. Just hit level 200 tonight, so there's that. But regardless of that, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. If you did, you already know what to do, man. Click that like button and also subscribe for more Crazy Spartan content on the channel. Turn on your post notifications so that way you don't miss a video when I upload. Custom Links channels in the link in the description box below. Go check it out. And until then, you guys, stay motivated, stay dedicated, and I will check you guys out in the next video. Peace out.